Today, the ASA Action Sports World Tour makes its first appearance ever in the Windy City. The competitions are BMX triples and skateboard vert. The formats are designed to inspire creativity.
10 walls, you have no time to set up. You gotta pack your hardest stuff in 10 walls, and usually most of us have more than 10 hard tricks, like we can't fit it in, so it takes way more precision. And I think that's why you'll see more people fall in this format, because they're trying to go off.
It's a lot more exciting for everyone. Every trick's just back to back, so you're just pushing it to do the best combos you can.
You're competing head to head with someone, so it's kind of stressful, like, oh man, what's he gonna do? What am I gonna do to top whatever he does?
It'll be fun to watch some of the younger guys that are real hungry to win, just send in some wild tricks, and riders that have been riding for a long time know what they're doing.
It's gonna be hard on judges. I'm really excited to see just how it all turns out at the end.
The stage is set. The athletes are ready to turn up the intensity. Welcome to Chicago, Illinois, here inside the Sears Center Arena for the second stop of the Action Sports World Tour. Hi everybody, I'm Mark Shays here along with Jimmy Coleman, and we've got two events going on, Skateboard Vert and BMX Triples. And fasten your seatbelt because both fields are loaded.
Well, we'll talk about Skateboard Vert first, and basically the bottom line is who's going to be able to best PLG. The guy's been on a run that started last year. He got the win at the last stop of this tour in Minneapolis, Minnesota, so the question is, will anyone be able to take him down? However, over on the BMX course, it's a bit of a different story. It's anybody's game.
It is. The ramps are bigger, and the names keep getting bigger as well.
We've got TJ Ellis, who got a podium spot last weekend, but you've also got Koji Kraft. He's feeling it right now. He almost podiumed last weekend, and he's the hometown guy, so watch out for him.
The crowd behind him, he could just take home his first win here on the tour. Let's get right to it. The crowd is pumped to see some big air and big crashes. We've got 12 of the world's top riders in the house, and they promise to put on a great show. We've got dirt riders, park riders, new school and old school, and the format is designed for maximum excitement. Two riders square off head-to-head in the heats, in the quarterfinals, and the semifinals, leaving three to battle it out in the final round.
Well, Mark, the course basically consists of 2 jumps and a quarter pipe. The judges are looking for your overall impression of what you do on the entire course. The way it's going to work, each rider, they're going to get 2 runs. Now, there is no scoring. The judges are simply going to decide who's moving on and who's hitting the showers. And as you mentioned, when it comes down to the finals, 3 riders battling it out to see who gets the title of Chicago champion.
We start off with the quarterfinals. Here's a look at the Paul Mitchell brackets.
Well, you see these 6 matchups. You look at the first one, James Foster, new school rider going up against one of the veterans, Koji Nastasio, and this is his first time ever competing in the triples event. Chris Hughes taking on Koji Kraft. That one could be real interesting. And look at Alessandro Barbero, his first time ever competing in this event. He's got to go up against TJ Ellis.
And to kick things off, as you said, it's one of the all-time greats, Koji Nastasio.
Koji Nastasio, I mean, he's a legend. He's been riding forever. He's on it, he always has been. He's a killer rider, so it'll be interesting to see what he does. Should be fun.
James Foster going first over the first set. Starts it off a little conservative with a backflip, going for the triple tail whip. 3 revolutions of the frame of the bike, and then floats a no-hander on the quarter pipe. So I said he started off that run conservative there, Mark, but then he comes out swinging with the triple whip. Koji starting his run off with a backflip. It goes into the backflip tail whip and slips the pedal. So now the pressure is on for Koji Nastasio in round 2. So we'll see if Foster can try to bump it up a notch here. Superman seat grab into the double tail whip, and then onto the quarter pipe with a downside tail whip. So pressure is on for the veteran as he comes down the roll in for run 2.
Yeah, and Nasty's got to step it up here. Nice with the backflip. It's really a setup trick, though.
On the flat spin, the cork 720, and again slips the pedals, and he looked like he knocked his right ankle pretty hard as the feet come off the pedals. Watch this one. This is basically a 720 with more of a corked out kind of a flat spin, and you see the right foot come off the pedals, and he gets rocked in the ankle pretty hard.
Nobody can say he didn't throw down when he came out here, right?
I go big, man. I go big, I go home. I went big, now I'm going home.
There you go. Corey Nastasio summed it up better than anybody else could. Next matchup, Dustin Grice going up against Zach Warden. We saw Dustin at the first stop of the year in Minneapolis, Minnesota, coming in with a double tail whip, and he slips the pedal. So a lot of riders seeing some trouble early on. Zach Warden coming down for run 1 of 2 over the first set with an X-Up 360, 2 tricks in 1, double tail whip over the second set, and he slips the pedals. However, he did get one more jump in than Dustin. Round 2, double tail whips again. Dustin not able to make it over the second set.
This second time around will be a glory run because Zach Warden already moving on. Takes the safety run, but wisely lands all 3 tricks and even adds in a 4th for good measure.
I'm coming off a broken ankle and some bruised ribs from Minneapolis, so I'm just trying to keep it chill, try and stay on my bike at no cost. So I'm not going to be doing anything wild, but I really hope this heats up. And I know Koji Kraft, it's his hometown, so it's going to be wild. I can't wait.
Don't go anywhere. It's the hometown kid, Koji Kraft, taking to the air when we come back.
The ASA Action Sports World Tour Chicago, presented by BFD.com, is brought to you by Maxell, official sponsor of the ASA Action Sports World Tour. By ASA Entertainment, the leader in action sports event and television production since 1994. Visit ASAentertainment.com. By John Paul Mitchell Systems. It's not just what you do, it's how good you look doing it. Paul Mitchell, style points count. And by BFD.com. The biggest names in action sports are on BFD.com.
Welcome back inside the Sears Center in Chicago. It's the ASA Action Sports World Tour presented by BFD.com. We're in the midst of round number 1 and BMX triples. And don't forget, folks, you can watch all these highlights at BFD.com. Earlier this week, the ASA High School Tour arrived in Chicago. As always, it was an opportunity for the tour and its sponsors to promote action sports and to promote living a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, this program that I'm on right now, it's the ASA High School Tour. It's something we've been doing for 10 years now. And basically, we do this twice a year. We go in the spring and the fall. Usually, it's anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks, and we just travel all across the country. And we have assemblies, and the kids will come out, and we'll set up this ramp. And while the show is going on, they can watch that. I'm talking to them about tobacco facts.
You know, tobacco is more addictive than crack or heroin, and it's real important for us, you know, to get down with ASA and the grassroots tour, try to educate these kids, you know, as early as possible.
This tour was like a 6-week tour. We go around to a different high school every day, show kids that, you know, you can do this, have fun, and be tobacco free. Other than that, I mean, it's been great. I get to travel back from California, from Texas, all the way back to Chicago, my hometown.
It's an excellent promotion for the Action Sports World Tour event on Friday night. We've been giving out tickets as prizes for trivia questions with the kids and whatnot, so should be a pretty packed house there Friday night.
A packed house indeed here inside the Sears Center. So far, James Foster and Zach Warden will move on to the semifinal rounds here, taking a look at the Paul Mitchell brackets. A lot more riders still to go here in the quarters.
And this next matchup is going to be extremely exciting. It's Chris Hughes, one of the young guns, going up against veteran and hometown favorite Koji Kraft. Koji, born and raised in Addison, Illinois, just down the road from the Sears Center, as you can see. Lots of Koji Kraft fans in the house, but Chris Hughes gets to go first. Starts it off with the double tail whip over the second set, playing it extremely conservative right there, and with a 540 to cap off run 1.
In contest situations, you got to like watch what they're doing, watch what everyone else is doing, and kind of figure out what you can do to like kind of move a little bit ahead of them, or like something that you can do that they're not doing, or go a little bit higher.
Speaking of higher, check out the height on the double tail whip and going even bigger on the quarter pipe. And it's very interesting to hear Koji talking about strategy, because a couple years ago, he basically had none. This is the new and improved Koji Kraft we're seeing.
Well, stepping it up here in round number 2, a double tail whip, then a late tail whip, and coming around, not getting his feet on the pedals.
I don't think that's the trick Chris originally wanted to do, so This is going to be a bit of a glory run here for Koji, putting on a show for his family inside the Sears Center.
It's a blessing to have my family here. I'm so psyched to have them at least witness me ride once in my life.
And Koji Kraft moves on to the semifinal round. Our next heat up, Marcus Tucker versus Anthony Napolitan, two entirely different types of riders.
It's going to be a pretty interesting matchup because we both have real different styles. He does a lot of 720s and truck driver stuff, and I do a lot of flips and whips, and that one's going to be up in the air, I guess.
With two solid runs by Anthony, Marcus had to roll the dice but came up short.
Dude, no-handed 7?
Oh, but not landing on the tires. So, no next round for me.
The third member of our team, Eva Gabrielle, is on the deck with our next matchup.
Rob, you've competed against Colton before. You know what he has. Are you going to switch up your run?
I think I'm just going to watch him, see what he does, and then I'll make my decision after that.
Of course, it's just like dirt jumps. It doesn't have the inconsistencies dirt has, so all the lips stay perfect and everything feels good, and it's got a big quarter at the end, so just a party on.
Yeah, he partied on it indeed, but Rob Darden did exactly what he said he was going to do. He watched and he answered back.
You roll in, and it just gives you the speed, and you just go with the flow and have fun.
Missed my brake lever in Minneapolis, missed it again and moved out. Sooner or later we'll get there. Kind of ridiculous right now, but I'm stoked.
Rob Darden moves on, and we move on to our last heat. TJ Ellis versus the Italian Alessandro Barbero.
I'm against one of the best, just in the first round, so I'm happy that there's gonna be this match for Park against Dirt. It's pretty much like that, so we see.
Alessandro would go for the jugular in his second run by attempting a 360 triple tail whip, almost pulled it, but slipped the pedals. TJ Ellis with a big front flip into a double tail whip on the quarter pipe. He too slips the pedals, but his feet never touch the ramp.
Got it done. What run I knew I can do, but my first run was good. I just double whip. I landed 2 flat, and my second run, landed flat again, but I held my feet together, dude. I have to get it done.
Quarterfinals are in the books, and taking a look at the Paul Mitchell bracket board, those are the 3 matchups we will be seeing in the semifinal round.
The conclusion of BMX later in the show, but first we're going to change gears to the skateboard ramp, see if anyone can take out reigning world champion PLG. The electricity level is through the roof here inside the Sears Center in Chicago. It's Skateboard Vert time, and 9 riders ready to go for glory. Up first, the pressure on, it's New York's own rookie Elliot Sloan.
He was the LG Action Sports World Championship silver medalist in 2005 out of Houston, Texas. It's Chris Gentry.
And one of the most exciting riders, he's got a bag of tricks, the Frenchman Jean Postek.
He's the 2002 Vans Triple Crown overall Vert champion and one of the most consistent skaters on the tour, Anthony Furlong.
And the pride of Sao Paulo, Brazil, Lincoln Ueda, 2002 Latinx Games champion and high flyer.
Some say he's the future of Vert skateboarding. Got his pro start on this very tour in 2006. It's Alex Berelson.
And 37-year-old veteran Buster Halterman, who took the top spot at ASA Moscow in 2005, one of the most consistent on the tour.
He finished the 2008 season with a silver medal, and in the last stop of the tour this year with a silver medal finish, it's Dani Mayer.
And you know him by his initials, PLG. Pierre-Luc Gagnon, the master of all things vert and the #1 seed. Any specific strategy when you have 4 runs in your first run?
You have a lot of chances of making your hardest run, so you might as well go for it.
What Jean is referring to is the format. Each skater gets 4 runs and it's 10 walls. The runs are not timed. You get 10 walls to basically get out there and throw your best tricks together. And look at how high Lincoln Ueda is going early on here, and the kickflip just gets away from him, Mark.
So his run starting out well, and then right here, just misses getting the board back underneath his feet.
Hey, Lincoln's been doing that for years, and he'll take a 9-foot air to body jar. Smacking the tail on the cope, and that's how we do it around here at ASA.
Love his enthusiasm. Up next, Alex Berelson.
Alex had a rough go at the last stop of the tour in Minneapolis. I think he finished out in 8th or 9th place, which is a rare spot to see him in. Looking pretty solid here in the early part of round 1. The heel flip lean grab, big 540s. Will we see the 720 though?
Well, and that's where we get back to the whole strategy question. If he pulls it, it's one of his biggest tricks. We'll see if he does that or goes for a safety run.
Well, you said safety run, and that's exactly what he did. Normally where he would do the 720, he does this trick. He doubled up on it, the gay twist right there, the fakie 360.
He takes a conservative route. He's got a 77, which will put him on top for now, but it may not hold up. Now, you change your strategy now that you've already nailed one?
Before contests, I freak out so much. I don't have a strategy. I'm just kind of like frantic, so I don't know.
Well, we go from a kid with no strategy to a guy that comes to every single contest with pretty much the same strategy. Dani Mayer, he's got a lot of second place finishes, but he has yet to stand atop the highest spot on the podium. Will this be the one, Mark?
Well, he does have one of the most lethal tricks, the kickflip 5. If we could see him do it here in this run, it would be a gutsy move.
Well, he doesn't do the kickflip McTwist, but he does a couple of big back-to-back 540s. So Dani trying to put down a safety run right here. Something he did not do at the last stop of the tour in Minneapolis, so trying to take the pressure off a little bit right here and capping it off with the backside lip slide revert. That's 10 walls.
And a great first run for him, getting a high 5 from his biggest competitor out here, PLG, an 83.50, puts him on top for now.
And speaking of PLG, he's getting ready to drop in right now. As you said at the top of the segment here, the most dominant competition skater over the last 14 months, and second wall in with a big backside grab 720.
Yeah, so far, the biggest trick of the entire competition, he does it on his second wall, just showing what a master he is on the vert.
Yeah, to have the presence of mind to drop in to do a big enough air to fakie setup to even get into that 720 is pretty impressive. And then to come out with the rest of the run with multiple 540 variations, and Pierre looking pretty solid, looking pretty much where he left off the last stop of the tour in Minneapolis with a full pull.
And 87.25, that puts PLG on top here at the end of round 1. What we expected to be a battle between Dani Mayer and PLG is turning into just that. At the end of run number 1, taking a look at the Paul Mitchell leaderboard, PLG, Dani Mayer, and Alex Berelson sitting in the top 3 spots.
Okay, look, I say money on my mind, never touch a 9 to 5, but I grind till I can't no more. And if I make it to the point where I don't need to grind, I'm still gonna grind in my leisure time.
Things are just heating up. More skateboard when we come back. Welcome back to the Sears Center in Chicago. It's the ASA Action Sports World Tour presented by BFD.com.
Where's my pit man? Why am I doing this myself? Where is my pit man?
Danny, he walked out on you, man.
It's time to learn the fundamentals of one of the favorite tricks of Chris Gentry.
What's up, y'all? This is Chris Gentry. We're in the building right now. We're in Chicago, here at this beautiful vert ramp. We're gonna do a trick scenario. It's called Frontside Rodeo, where you come up front side and you spin 540 degrees and come back down. It's one of my signature moves. It's about an 8 or 9 in difficulty, but I'm gonna show you how to do it. When you're coming up, you kind of like lean your shoulder, and once you hook yourself and grab it, point the nose, and then it pretty much just directs itself around. Set it down, or ride out. So practice hard, keep your shoulder leaning, keep your head in the game, keep your mind straight, and party on.
Be sure to go back to BFD.com and check out that Trictionary and many more.
Round 2 set to start. Anthony Furlong had a rough go in first round. Basically fell first wall in. In his defense, though, he's been skating a much smaller ramp doing shows on the high school tour for the last 6 weeks, so look for him to put together 10 walls here in round 2.
Having a much better time of it. Anthony, a true veteran, he knows how to make the adjustments necessary. Here, definitely big improvement, making the full pull.
Yeah, he literally had about 2.5 hours of practice after doing a show on that smaller ramp, and then caps off this run with a fakie to fakie 540 and a fakie hang-up slide. So like I said, 10 walls solid for Anthony Furlong.
It's tough. I've been doing 5 weeks of shows on a 10-foot tall, 20-foot wide ramp. And this thing is 14 foot tall and 60 feet wide. It's drastically different. I'm not used to it yet, but I'm trying to get there in the next couple runs.
We saw a bit of a safety run out of Alex Berelson in run number 1. We did not see the 720. He's got that trick in his arsenal, as well as several different variations of it. So now that he's got that safety run under his belt, I guarantee you we're going to see it here. And look at the height factor on that backside 540.
Yeah, Alex, one of the most exciting skateboarders out here. Doesn't matter that he's new to the scene. He is ripping with some huge 540 variations. We'll see if he's got the 7 right here.
Big air to fakie setup, and there it was, the Indy 720. I've never seen Alex do that one before in a competition.
So this run looking like it's going perfectly. Oh, and on the 10th wall, he goes down on something that he should be landing routinely.
On a frontside rock slide, no less. Taking a look at this replay, just another prime example of one of the up-and-coming young guns with a huge trick in his arsenal.
It's really bizarre. I mean, I've skated for 21 years, and I'm where I'm at. But having skateboarding blown up in the last 10 years on TV, those kids had something to go get, and they went out and got it fast.
At the top of the ramp, the veteran of Vert getting ready to drop in. He's been riding professionally since 1991. It's Dani Mayer, our BFD.com athlete profile.
What I've figured out for skating vert is that a lot of it is confidence, and you really, when you have that inner confidence, you know, you're skating every day, you're doing all these tricks every day. That's such a big deal.
Dani's resume includes numerous podium finishes at ASA events throughout the world. Last year, he captured silver at the LG World Championships in Seattle, and last weekend, he took silver at the stop in Minneapolis. However, he has yet to stand on top of the podium at an ASA event in anything more than a best trick competition. To make that elusive step, he'll need to dig deep to overcome PLG.
Pierre's always on his game, you know, he's always skating really well, and yeah, he's definitely started the year out where he left off last year. I think I'm pretty much right there too, where I left off last year, staying in the podiums like most contests, so I want to win today.
Well, he's come very close. He's had several silver medal finishes. He's always been knocking on the door. This could be the day right here. This is going to be the run. Now he's got a safety run down. We will see that kickflip McTwist here, and there it is, early in the run.
Well, and he stomped it. Look at how much height he comes out of it and goes right into another 540.
Yeah, I was going to say he landed that, and then he did a backside 540. We'll see if he changes up his line a little bit here. There's another 540 variation that was the fakie to fakie 540. Pretty much the same run that we saw the first time around, except throwing that kickflip McTwist into the mix, and he gets it 10 walls with that huge trick.
And Jimmy, why is it so hard and so impressive to land that one trick in the middle of a run?
Well, basically, you're doing a 540. The body's rotating 1.5 times around, and you're flipping the board around while you're basically upside down and trying to catch that thing and put it under your feet.
What can I say? I don't know. I'm hyped. Now all I got to do is try and hopefully, you know, add a cab heel flip Indy and maybe one more, like maybe kickflip melon 3 or something.
Well, the pressure soundly sits on PLG right now, a 91.25 from Dani Mayer. If anyone can answer back, though, it's this guy.
Dropping it with a big air to fakie setup, and again with the 720 backside grab. That back foot was floating around a little bit, and maybe that's what caused the fall right here. So Dani Mayer smelling blood in the water right now. I have to think that the way the back foot moved around on the 720 messed him up right there. So PLG going down in round 2 and sitting in second place. Taking a look at the Paul Mitchell leaderboard. Dani Mayer with the kickflip McTwist jumps into the 90s and atop the leaderboard at the end of round 2.
It's all fun competition, but it would be nice to spank PLG and knock him off, eh?
Oh my God, it would be nice.
The battle here on the vert ramp between the powerhouses Dani Mayer and PLG is heating up. More to come. Welcome back inside the Sears Center. It's the ASA Action Sports World Tour presented by BFD.com. A lot of high flying here in round number 3, but no riders able to improve on their scores, bringing us to our final 2 riders of the heat, Dani Mayer versus PLG.
And this has been shaping up to be an epic battle. You heard Dani talking about the soundbite earlier about changing up the line. Guarantee you we're going to see that kickflip McTwist again. The question is, what is he going to follow up the run with afterwards? And he gets another one down. He's 2 for 2 on that trick.
So impressive. It's so difficult. And you can see it when you see the reaction of his peers up here on the vert ramp, jumping up and down.
You know, it's such a hard trick to do, but the fact that he's mastered it to the point where he can put it down time and time again, and he changed up the line there. That's the cab heel flip. That's a 360 coming up backwards with the heel flip. And again, 10 walls, he changed up the line. This is gonna be huge for Dani.
It'll actually move his score up even more, adding one more difficult trick, a 93.25, so he extends his lead.
Well, the stage is set now. You saw Pierre with a rare fall. You're not going to see that happen twice in a row here, so this is going to get real interesting. And here we go, drops right into a 360 flip and then follows that up with the 720. We've seen him the last two runs drop straight into an Indy air to fakie, but this time around with a 360 flip, huge difficulty right there.
PLG is the consummate professional. He has so much training, so much confidence that he knows how to step it up at the right moment, and this would be that moment.
You know, we keep talking about how huge of a battle this is. Oh, with the flip 360, we keep talking about this battle. These guys are actually the best of friends, and they skate together all the time. But it is on the vert ramp right now. Look at this. That's a 360 flip, coming in fakie, and then you follow it up with a 720. That is just absolutely ridiculous.
Dani pulled the best run I've ever seen him pull. I know he's been looking for that one for a while. And I was like, yeah, I just got to go for broke. Like, I got nothing to lose. I'm in second right now. I got to go for it. Well, this is definitely like one of the best like classic battles I've ever seen.
That score, a 95.50, puts him on top.
So here we go, fourth and final round. Elliot Sloan, he has yet to put down a full 10 walls thus far. And he's looking pretty solid this time around. Check out the tail grab 540 there. That's such a difficult grab because whenever you're grabbing the back of the board, your front foot has a tendency to float all over the place. This might be 10 walls for Elliot here, Mark.
Yeah, he's a tall, powerful skater for a rookie on the tour. He's got the trick vocabulary, and he looks stoked. He finally pulled off a 10-wall run.
Well, he's got the monkey off his back because of the last two stops of the tour. He has yet to put down a 10-wall run, and he gets it done right here. Oh, the no flip. He went to do a frontside heel flip, and the board did flip.
I couldn't feel happier right now. Like, last contest last week, I blew it and just totally came back just now. Been skating a lot and totally paid off.
Up next, Jean Postek, the Frenchman to drop in, but as a child, he received his inspiration from a surprising source.
10, 12 years ago when well, it was pretty funny. I was watching The Simpsons and I wasn't really doing anything back in the day, so I saw Bart Simpson skating in the preview of The Simpsons. I'm like, oh, I should just try skating. And then I picked up a skateboard and I've just been skating since then.
I've heard a lot of guys say Tony Hawk or Christian Hosoi was their inspiration, but I can honestly say that's the first time I've ever heard Bart Simpson was an influence for them in skateboarding.
Well, it's so funny because Jean Postek, one of the nicest, most upstanding guys you'll ever meet. Bart, not so much. An 81 even and a triumphant day for Jean Postek. Some riders, though, having trouble in round number 4, not able to improve. They will throw away their fourth run scores as we move on to the heavy hitters who seem to pull it off when they need to. It's Dani Mayer up next.
Well, this is it. This is for all the marbles right here. It's the fourth and final run. He was in the lead. He extended the lead. Pierre retook that lead away at the end of round 3. So this is it. Dani talked about changing up the line. What else is he going to throw into this run with that kickflip McTwist to try to grab that top spot back from Pierre?
Well, he has to stomp everything, and
there
it
he goes
is.
Again with another kickflip McTwist. He's 3 for 3 on those tonight, Mark.
So incredibly difficult, that trick to land ever, and he's done it 3 times in a row.
Kickflip backside 3, coming in fakie. This is it. This could be the one. Oh, as I say that, he goes down on the cab heel flip. Dani Mayer was knocking on the door, and the cab heel flip was just a little too far away from his fingertips. Look at this, though. Kickflip backside 3, coming in backwards. Follows it up with a fakie to fakie 540 right here. He was so close. That could have been the one.
93.25. He'll have to stick with his earlier run score. He was knocking on the door, as you said, and PLG takes home yet another vert victory.
Taking a look at the Paul Mitchell final result board, same old story. PLG on top, Dani Mayer with the silver, but congratulations to Alex Berelson taking the bronze.
It was like a super cool battle. You know, I'm always happy to be up there with Dani. And I'm pretty psyched too because it's my birthday, you know, midnight tonight, so we're gonna be celebrating.
Yeah.
Let's go when the situation's drastic. People made of plastic. All the right conditions for us to create a classic. We are the radical scientists. Lions with the iron fist. Balancing the pluses and the minuses. Nevis Mike Brass, hip-hop, top class.
When we come back, we take it back to BMX triples. We are down to 6 of the world's best riders banging it out head to head.
When the bass go boom, that's my cue.
Welcome back inside the Sears Center. It's the ASA Action Sports World Tour, brought to you by BFD.com. As we heat things up, we are down to 6 riders here. In the semifinal rounds, it's head-to-head action. But first, we, along with the help of BFD.com, are going to take a deeper look at one of our riders. It's Koji Kraft. He likes to take a break from the pressures of training and competition, a place where he can unwind, relax, and take his mind off of the daily routine. Koji's happy place is a bit noisy.
I got a few weird hobbies, I guess people would say. I shoot guns a lot. I collect samurai swords. It's just what I do and just kind of the way I release stress besides riding. It's kind of taken me a few years to get really good at it, but it's a lot of fun. With shooting, you have to be really patient, then you have to like time it right to squeeze the trigger. With bike riding, you got to choose the moment to where you can do a trick at a certain time, otherwise you get stuck in the air and you get hurt pretty bad. Nothing else matters but what you're doing. Kind of looks like Swiss cheese.
Koji's home is located in the suburbs of Chicago. He's been on the road for much of the past decade. Now his on-the-road family finally gets to meet his real family.
I've been ranting and raving about my mom's cooking and no one believed me really. Like they're just like, oh, you know, everyone says her mom's cooking's the best, but like my mom has all these secret recipes and all these little things that she does to everything that just tweaks it a little bit.
It's good? Meat is good, right?
It makes it sweet.
I love my mom. She's always supported me. Every time I get hurt, she always invites me back home, and that's that's true love right there. That's what it all means.
That meal was ridiculous, by the way. It was like being at a restaurant. She even made to-go packages for all the camera crew guys. It was all shrink-wrapped and everything in plastic when they left.
3 more heats here in the Paul Mitchell semifinal brackets. If Koji Kraft can get past Zach Warden, he'll make it into his first final here in the triples in front of his family.
Well, he got past Zach on the last stop of the tour in Minneapolis. Run 1 here, double tail whip over the second set into a big double tail whip on the quarter pipe.
I just want to make sure, you know, Koji isn't going to squeak by, so I'm trying my best with what I got. So we'll see. Here we go.
We'll see if Mama's home cooking can propel him past Zach Warden once again. The eye of the tiger on his face as he rolls in. Big turn down flip with a massive double tail whip over the second set. Out onto the quarter pipe, playing it real conservative right there. This is by far the closest matchup we've seen in the triples competition yet. Run 2 for Zach. 360 tail whip, double tail whip over the second set, and the downside tail whip.
And that means all the pressure is on Koji Kraft to step it up.
See some Koji Kraft supporters there in the friends and family area. Rolls it into a big backflip into the second set with a giant downside 270 whip, and then a tail whip on the quarter pipe. This one's the closest matchup of the comp, Mark.
It barely looked like he was going to get around and pull off a third trick, but he does, and he advances to the final.
Next bracket in the semis brings Anthony Napolitan up against Rob Darden. Rob has found himself on the podium several times in the history of the BMX triples event.
Yeah, but Anthony Napolitan is a big trick gun master. Look at how high he gets on that huge invert air, but leaving a little bit for his second round.
I was going to say it was extremely conservative, and Rob Darden starting off first trick in with a 720 to a 360 double tail whip, and then a tail whip that he over-rotates on the quarter pipe.
Yeah, that third trick is going to cost him, but his first 2 were big, big bangers.
Into the second set with a truck driver. That's a 360 with a bar spin, and onto the quarter pipe with an invert to late turn down. 2 tricks in 1. Rob Darden firing off another 720 to start off the run with an X-up backflip and to the quarter pipe with a turn down to invert, so he too finishes with a combo move.
The power of this 720 is really what's going to propel him onto the finals. Rob Darden in yet another final round.
Darden's good, so I blew it a little bit. So when you ride against Darden, there's really no room for error, you know?
There's never room for error this deep into the competition, and James Foster and TJ Ellis have huge, huge bags of tricks.
Coming down the roll in, James Foster starting it off. X up backflip, got a weird rotation on that one, and again, triple tail whip. And still, he slips a pedal, but he manages to get a no-hander out of it. But he did slip a pedal. TJ rolls it in with a 360 double tail whip into a massive front flip. What's he got on the quarter pipe? Double tail whip, and he too slips the pedals and goes over the bars.
Both riders leaving room for improvement here, getting upside down, getting a little bit sideways and squirrely. He's gonna have to throw this one out completely.
Well, you see the rotations off on the flip, and when he lands that thing, he's pointed the wrong direction. If he would have tried to go over that second jump, he would have gone to the bleachers. TJ back in with a no-handed flip, follows it up with another massive front flip, and onto the quarter pipe, plays it safe with the tail whip. Safe to say, he'll be moving on.
Some great strategy there from TJ Ellis. So the top 3 seeds have proven to be the top guns. Koji Kraft, Rob Darden, and TJ Ellis are in the Paul Mitchell final bracket. It promises to be an insane final. But first, it's time for the Maxell music stage, the crowd treated to a concert by The Used.
Thank you very much, Chicago!
The conclusion of BMX triples when we come back.
The ASA Action Sports World Tour Chicago, presented by BFD.com, is brought to you by Maxell, official sponsor of the ASA Action Sports World Tour. By ASA Entertainment, the leader in action sports event and television production since 1994. Visit asaentertainment.com. By John Paul Mitchell Systems. It's not just what you do, it's how good you look doing it. Paul Mitchell, style points count. And by BFD.com. The biggest names in action sports are on BFD.com.
Now, close your eyes, picture me rolling. Cartier frames, wristwatches, gold, and my spinners and spokes too. I'm not joking. Sparking down the boulevard, 3-wheel motion. Yeah, you see the moves we make. Went from hamburger helper to lobster and steak. Went from under the mat to offshore count. Watch the G4 in the hang, watch the 6-4 bounce. Bounce, bounce, watch the 6-4 bounce.
The competition began with 12 of the world's best riders here in triples. 3 have made their way into the Paul Mitchell finals bracket. Koji Kraft, Rob Darden, and TJ Ellis. And they've earned their way here by doing some insane tricks.
This is almost a carbon copy of the finals bracket on the last stop of the tour, except insert Koji Kraft in place of Ryan Gutler. You see Koji's mom very excited, and Eva Gabrielle's on deck with an interview.
Koji, the crowd is fired up for their hometown boy. Do you feed off that energy?
Right now I need some little bit less energy, but I need to calm down and just kind of focus. I don't know what to say.
Well, he's definitely not gun shy, as we saw earlier in the show, but he is camera shy when he gets interviewed by Eva Gabrielle there. Coming down the roll-in, what's he got to start off the finals? Combo flip, no hand to no footed backflip, big double tail whip, and onto the quarter pipe with another huge double tail whip, but almost goes off the side of the ramp.
Well, fortunately, he keeps it together, and he puts one in the books.
3 tricks in one with that backflip, and over to the second set. Check out the height on the double whip.
You feel like you have to double flip now?
We'll see. We'll see.
It's an interesting soundbite because he told me he wasn't feeling it and he wasn't going to do it on this setup. Here we go. Rob Darden, run 1 of 2. Starts it off again with the big 720. Back-to-back 720s. That was a good recovery out of the first one because he almost went shooting off the side of the ramp out of that first 720.
Well, he must have felt good enough about that run because he didn't try his 4th trick back up and over the opposite direction. TJ Ellis takes his first of 2.
He's got that double flip. Well, he do it. He starts out with a huge 360 double tail whip into a no-handed front flip. And there's the double whip on the quarter pipe and gets the feet on the pedals that time around. That trick's been giving him problems all night.
That right there is what you call a finals run. 3 huge tricks, all with a lot of difficulty, and he nailed all of them.
360 double tail whip. Your body does 1 rotation. The frame of the bike does 2 rotations around you. Watch the hands. They come off the bars on the front flip. Solid for TJ. That means the pressure is on, but Koji remaining very calm right now and thinking about that double backflip.
The last contest I tried a double flip and didn't make it over the second jump, and then they made this jump a little bit bigger, so that's not going to help me too much here. So it just comes down to when I have to do it, I'm going to have to do it and just not think about the consequences, I guess.
Well, this goes against whatever he told me before the competition. He said he wasn't going to do it, but here we go, rolling the dice, and so close. The front tire just hits the knuckle of the landing. So close on that one. Fortunately for Koji, though, he gets up and is okay from that. Look at the rotation on this. You've got so much momentum and just deck checks it. That is not where you want to land.
When they moved that thing 6 inches forward, I was like, I looked at it, I spotted it, and I went to pump, and I was like, oh, that's a deck. It went straight over.
For TJ Ellis and Rob Darden, this is deja vu.
Rob, you and TJ have been in the finals together before. You know what he has. Do you know what you're going to throw down?
I got a run planned out in my head, but I got to land good on the first jump to make it all work out, so that's what it's going to come down to.
It all comes down to this last run. Will he be able to take the lead away from TJ Ellis? 720 into a backflip tail whip, and he goes down. Just comes in back tire heavy. Look at this. Your handlebars, the body doing a vertical rotation while your frame of your bike does a horizontal rotation around you. So close, but you know what that means, Mark? Victory lap for this guy. The pressure's off. You can see the smile come back to his face. TJ Ellis gets the win.
And well-deserved. His first run was unbelievable. Here going for a super flip.
Ow, that was painful on the ride out. This is not how you want to land this trick. Watch out for that back tire. Ouch, he's been abusing himself all night long, but he is all smiles. Why? Because he gets the win here. BMX Big Air Triples inside the Sears Center.
Rob Darden takes home the bronze. A great day for him despite the fall on his last run. And Koji Kraft, in front of friends and family, makes it to the finals and takes home a silver medal.
And the first time his mother or sister have ever seen him in a pro competition, Mark.
A great day for him. All smiles for Koji Kraft and TJ Ellis, your champion. What an unbelievable day for him.
There you have it, the Paul Mitchell final result board. TJ Ellis gets the win.
All right, all I can say is, wow, what an incredible competition. Extra sweet for you, but you did knock off the hometown boy. That must have felt fun.
Dude, yeah, he's crazy. He went for the double flip, and I'm like, dude, I'm not doing it this round. I'm so stoked to be on the podium with him and Darden. My first big win with these guys is awesome.
Some absolutely intense action in BMX triples and on the skateboard ramp. That wraps things up here in Chicago. The ASA Action Sports World Tour heads to Cincinnati next. Tune in to see the action on Versus on June 27th at 3 p.m. and then again July 1st at 5 p.m. and July 2nd at 4 p.m. All times are Eastern Standard. To catch extra unseen footage, behind the scenes, exclusive clips, athlete profiles, Trictionaries, and news and tricks brought to you by Eva Gabrielle, log on to BFD.com, your home for action sports. I'm Mark Shays for Jimmy Coleman. Thanks for watching.